Or Kagan's words, life is bigger than aphasia. So our group talked about forming an aphasia group, and some of the things that we thought came up from this very rich discussion, so thank you to my group members. Three things that we brought up. One was you really want to be able to identify the needs and characteristics of the community of people with aphasia and their families that you're hoping to serve when you're thinking about starting an aphasia group. One idea that came up was thinking about a needs assessment for what's really needed. Another thing that we discussed was how to work hard from the start to build buy-in for your groups. Find your allies, find the power players that will help you take this and keep it going. Another point was to think really deeply about the content and the structure of groups. I think several other folks have brought this up, that ask people what they need. Some big ideas that came up were to really make sure that the groups are centered around strong relationships with clients and families, so upholding that principle of person-centered care. And from the start to think about not just the creation of the group, but sustainability. How are you going to keep this going? And one thing that we recommended is considering a proof of concept pilot. If this is a brand new group, run a short pilot so you have looked at feasibility and the clinical applicability. Another important point that came up here was that stroke stories, personal narratives, and identity rebuilding are very important to incorporate when you're forming an aphasia group. Some unanswered questions were, what are some best ways? We talked a lot about grand rounds formats, going out to other healthcare partners. What are some best ways to build buy-in from other professions, from folks who need to give you resources and time or money to keep these groups supported? And how do you balance supporting client autonomy and freedom of choice, or what groups they would want to choose, but then also making sure that you have enough people so you don't have these mini splinter groups of 1 or 2 people. So how do you keep that balance autonomy and adequate numbers of people to get that group benefit? 3 quotes that stood out for our group. One was, people with aphasia are often looking for their tribe. Another one was, invite power players into your groups. Let them see what you're doing, bring that to life. And the last one was that people vote with their feet. So if you're doing this right, you will have more people coming into your groups. And these aren't new quotes that we necessarily generated, but I think they've been said in other places by other people. But those were the quotes that stood out at our table. Thank you.